You go to a funeral. You listen to what people actually say, and you're then talking about the ordinary stuff he did in his life. Ain't gonna happen, right? The stories are always about the time he ran naked down the street, the time they made out on top of Cappella Sistina. Nobody remembers an ordinary Tuesday. Back to 400 years ago, the philosopher Michel de Montaigne wrote an essay cataloging things entire societies treated as completely normal. Few examples. In some kingdom, nobody spoke to the king directly except his wife and kids. Everyone else spoke to him through a tube. In some places, the most honorable way to treat a dead relative wasn't burial or barn. It was eating the body. None of that felt strange to the people living it. It was just normal. Then one by one, it wasn't. Nothing better ever came along to replace it. It just stopped working. So why does breaking a pattern feel so uncomfortable? Is it because we want to belong to something? Where does the need come from? In 1951, psychologist Solomon Asch put people in a room with 7 actors and one job. Pick which one of 3 lines matched the other line in length. Easy question, obvious answer. Alone, people got it right almost all the time. Surrounded by 7 actors confidently giving the wrong answer, 75% went along with it at least once. Their eyes were fine. What they were protecting wasn't the answer. It was their place in the room. Why? As Yuval Noah Harari argues in Sapiens, our ability to cooperate in large groups is what allowed humans not only to survive, but to rise to the top of the food chain. Then what triggered us to walk alone into the uncomfortable unknown, the unbeaten path, even just to break a rule? Is it something deeper in our nature? Now, picture a forest few 100,000 years ago. Brown bears, green needles, shadow everywhere, and one white far standing out against all of it, a white bear, a weird target starving to death. Then the glaciers came. Snow and ice replaced green and brown. That same coat that used to give it away now hid it completely. Nothing about that coat changed. The world around it did. Bears with lighter fur hunted better, ate more, had more cubs. Within generation, white fur wasn't a flaw, it was a whole species. The coat was never the problem, the timing was. Before the glacier, nature kept testing its creative power, popping up now and there a white bear gene. It may seem it already knew, sooner or later, a word was coming that would catch up to the creative force. The when did not matter. So it is then in our nature. It is the way nature tests different realities, new possibilities. So how does that work for us? In 1989, NBC tested a sitcom pilot on 400 households. Verdict, weak. One executive called it a super boring week. Nobody wanted to watch it again. It got a 4-episode order anyway, the smallest in American TV history, just because one executive bet against his own research department. Renamed Seinfeld, 9th season, one of the most profitable shows ever made. Same thing happened to Blade Runner. Critics call it a suspense thriller. Decades later, taught in film schools, called one of the most important sci-fi films ever made. This happens also at a smaller scale. Someone flew 14 hours across an ocean on a random Tuesday just to stand in the back row at your wedding. Your close friends today. That flight is a big reason why. A childhood friend you have been seeing for decades drove 5 hours to your father's funeral. He sat in the back, you still remember exactly where he sat. Someone wrote you an actual letter by hand when a text would have done exactly the same job in 10 seconds. You kept that letter, you didn't keep the text. None of that needed the world to catch up first. Nobody needed history to agree a 5-hour drive was worth it. It landed the second it happened. Psychologists split motivation in two. Doing something because it's genuinely yours or doing it for the reaction. Weirdness done for applause dies the moment the applause stops. Weirdness that wouldn't happen with nobody watching keeps going. The stories we like to tell ourselves is be different enough and eventually the world comes around. Okay, but sometimes it does, most of the time it doesn't. Most weird things just stay unpopular for long, even forever. The white bear starved to death for generations. Van Gogh sold almost nothing while alive and died poor. Franz Kafka published almost nothing significant in his lifespan and he wanted his manuscript to be burned after his death. He's considered one of the most influential writers of the 20th century. So get to remember is not proving something to the world. It is something much deeper than that. It's just what happens the moment you do something real, no delay, no word needing to agree first. This is why we tend to remember weird but we forget normal. Your normal self gets forgotten not because it's punished, because there is nothing left to remember. It is the everyone version. Your weird self survived not because the world agrees with it, although it might one day. Because eventually, someday, somebody will be there to witness it, like someone will notice a white spot in a sea of black. And you won't get tired because nobody's watching. You won't stop because it feels shameful. You will keep doing it because perhaps you found something that makes you feel finally free, or maybe just because it makes you feel a little bit more you. Here is how to actually use all of this. Every time you're not sure how to act, write down the obvious thing everyone in your position would do. Then cross it out completely. That's the version nobody will care to remember, the normal crowded one. What's left is harder, not what's expected of you, what's actually yours.